शुक्लाम्बरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणी विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। Hari Om. Very good morning to all of you. Welcome to this beautiful, most wonderful, awesome, gorgeous and the ancient as well as the modern temple which is within our own selves. My loving pranams at the divine lotus feet of my Guru, Papa Swami Ramdas of Anandashram, Kanjangad, Kerala, and my beloved parents. We are going through the last few shlokas of the last chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Moksha Sannyasa Yoga, which gives the summary of the chapters from 3rd to 17. Second chapter is like a trailer, and the last chapter is just the summary. But from different angles, Krishna is hammering us on the same topics. The topics are not new at all. The same old topics which he has described in various ways from 3rd to 17th. Again and again he is talking about the same topics. So we must understand that they are definitely important. So now he is talking about Karma Yoga he started. Then he talked about Jnana Yoga. Again he talked about Karma Yoga and he said that Swakarmanatam Abhyarcha Siddhim Vindati Manavaha in 46th Shloka. Whatever you do to that Parabrahma, which Parabrahma? Yatha Pravrittir Bhutanam, who is the source, who is the origin of everything that exists here. And Yena Sarvamidam Tatam, he is all pervading. He is existing everywhere. To that Parabrahma, you offer Swakarma, all the karmas, all the actions that you perform. Offer it to him as your puja to him. That is the way you are worshipping him. Then Siddhim Vindati Manavaha, such a person attains Siddhi. What kind of Siddhi do we attain by doing Karma Yoga? Purity of mind, which is preparatory qualification for moksha. Jnana Yoga has to dawn. One should be qualified. So the first and foremost qualification is purity of mind. How do we know whether we are pure or not? Whether my mind is pure or not, how do I know? Whatever we read, Jnana Yoga, the Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana. Yes, Shravana is there, we listen, but nothing remains. Manana, not able to do Manana and definitely not able to assimilate and implement those topics or concepts in our lives. So, that shows that mind is not pure. And another way of looking at it is the mind peaceful? Are we able to keep ourselves peaceful in all situations? If yes, then purity of mind we have attained to a certain extent at least. We are slowly getting into this Jnana Yoga part of it. Not that it is a totally different path, all should go hand in hand, but it is the culmination is in this kind of knowledge. Let us see what he says in the 50th shloka. From shloka number 50 up to shloka number 55, again he talks about Jnana Yoga. Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana. Let us see what he says. Siddhim prapto yatha brahma tathapnoti nibodha me samasenaiva kaunteya nishtha jnanasya ya para. Siddhim prapto yatha brahma tathapnoti nibodha me. Once you have attained the purity of mind, how to go forward, how to proceed further, I am going to tell you now. Nibodhame samasenaiva. Briefly, I have already explained in detail. Now once again, let me tell you briefly how to attain that Brahma. You have already attained the Siddhi of Karma Yoga, which means purity of mind. You have already attained that. Now how to proceed further? That I am going to tell you now. Nishtha jnanasya yapara. Jnana nishtha. What do we mean by this jnana nishtha? We have little knowledge, but we have not assimilated this knowledge, and it is not flowing through us. Now assume that I have a lot of money, but I am not able to use it. I have money, I am not able to use it at all. What is the point in having that? We faced this kind of situation during demonetization time. November 8th was a demonetization, and November 23rd we were to conduct our daughter's marriage. And we had so many other events in so many different places. And we needed money, but suddenly our Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi declared this demonetization. We did not have money in hand. We have money, but nothing in hand. So we had to beg each and every friend of us. Even if they gave 2,000 rupees, we have taken that. That time we realized, yes, God taught us a lesson. Do you feel proud of yourself that you have got money? Let me teach you a lesson. That money will not be useful. You will not be able to use it when you need it. Exactly the same way here. We have the knowledge, but we are not using it or not able to use it. Why? Mind is not yet pure. So it should flow spontaneously at the time of some crisis. Are we shattered? If yes, if we are shattered, then Bhagavad Gita has not gone through us. We have gone through Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita has not gone through us at all. This is what is Jnana Nishtha. It should flow spontaneously in our life. So he says, now I will tell you how you can assimilate that and how you can implement it in your life. It is like we have prepared coffee. I have prepared coffee. One of my friends visited my house. I have prepared coffee and I offered her the coffee. She drank it, sipped it and said, Jyothi, you have not added sugar at all. Oh, I am sorry, I will add. So I added 1 spoon. She took that again and said, no, it is not sweet. So I again add another 2 or 3 more spoons of sugar. She says it is not sweet yet. Where did I go wrong? I have simply added. I have not stirred it. It should be mixed properly. Otherwise what happens? It settles down at the bottom and the coffee tastes the same because the sugar is not dissolved in it. Unless I stir it, that sugar what I have added will not give that sweetness at all to the coffee. Same way, we keep on listening, keep on collecting knowledge, but we are not doing manana of it. And when we don't do it, then how can we implement it in our lives? It should come to every cell of our body. It should become so natural for us. Oh, this is natural in me. What is special in this? Like that it should happen. That way Bhagavad Gita should go through us. One of the devotees went to Swami Chinmayananda and asked him, I have been reading Bhagavad Gita, doing Parayana of Bhagavad Gita for so many years, but no use, nothing, there is no transformation in me at all. I am not changed, I am the same. Then what's the point in reading Bhagavad Gita? You are advising every devotee, study Bhagavad Gita. So Chinmayananda Swamiji smiled and asked him, you have gone through Bhagavad Gita several times. How many times did Bhagavad Gita go through you? So this is important for us. Bhagavad Gita should go through us. That means, who am I? Where did I come from? Where am I going? Why am I here? What am I doing? These are the 5 questions that we have to pose to our own selves, not to anybody else. Pose to our own selves. And through Bhagavad Gita, we have realized now that I have the theoretical knowledge at least that I am not the body. So this kind of concepts, we should keep doing manana of it. At least every day, at least for a few minutes, maybe just 2-3 minutes, sit quietly and think about it. Who am I? Daughter, wife, mother, grandmother, this, that, teacher, doctor, all those, leave all those aside. All those are simply roles in this birth. They are not permanent. What is permanent? Which will be existing even after I drop this body? What will exist? So this kind of contemplation should be done by us. That is what Krishna is saying. I am going to tell you, Nishtha Jnanasya Yapara. How can you attain that? Let me tell you briefly. Next shloka, shloka number 51. Buddhya Vishuddhaya Yukto Dhrutyatmanam Niyamya Cha Shabdadin Vishayams Tyaktva Ragadvesho Vyudasya Cha. 51 and 52 are actually together. Anyway, let me explain this 51st one. What has to be done now? Once we have attained that purity, what is the next step? Doesn't mean that only after attaining that purity of mind we should do this. We can keep trying this now also. Vishuddhaya buddhya. Shuddha, with the pure mind. Okay, I have not attained that purity, which means still me and mine is there in my mind. This is mine, this is not mine. This type of attitude is there in my mind. Okay, doesn't matter. Try to become purer and purer. Vishuddhaya, with this knowledge that I am not permanent as body, or my body is not permanent. All these people, all these objects, which I feel that they are going to give me security. No, now I understand that none of these can give me security. All these relationships, temporary relationships. How long? Maybe for a few years. What happens after that? Either they will die or I will die. That means that relationship is lost or gone, no more existing. What exists after that? Which relationship exists even after I drop the body? Bhagavad Gita says that it is only with God. So there are 6 different topics. Like how we have syllabus in any class. Any course you take up, there is some syllabus. Do we have a syllabus here? Yes. There is a syllabus. 6 topics. Everything is based on these 6 topics only, nothing beyond this. What are the 6 topics? First one is about Jivatma. That is what we call as myself now. Then Paramatma, God or Ishvara. Then this Jagat, this universe. These are the main 3 topics. Then after that, Bandha. What is this samsara? Bandha, what is moksha. Jivatma, Paramatma, Jagat, then Bandha and Moksha. Then the last topic is sadhana. That is how to go from Bandha to Moksha. What do we need to do to move from this Bandha to Moksha? That is called sadhana. So there are only 6 topics. The syllabus is only 6 topics. So we have to learn only about these 6 topics. Nothing beyond that is needed for us to have this moksha. So this kind of knowledge should be there in us. Vishuddhaya buddhya. Make use of this kind of buddhi. I may be very intelligent academically. I might have got so many doctorates in so many different fields itself. Not that it is not needed. Yes, okay, let it be there. But how much of interest is there, how much of doctorate is there in this field, the field of spirituality? We keep talking about worldly and spiritual. Now, how do we know? For example, I'm using a mobile phone or a computer now. I'm sitting on a chair. I'm using a teapot. I'm using a water bottle here. What are they? Are they spiritual? No, they are material. Panchabhuta, made of Panchabhutas, so obviously they are material. Then how can we say we are spiritual? So how do you differentiate between this spiritual and worldly things? How do I know what I am doing is spiritual or worldly? So there is only one thing. Whenever we do anything for the gratification of our sense organs, it is called worldly. I repeat that. Whenever we perform any actions for the gratification or satisfaction of our sense organs, then that action is worldly action. If at all we perform any action for the sake of that Parabrahma or our Ishta Devata, Krishna, Rama, etc., then that action is called spiritual action. We must understand this very, very clearly. We use so many materials. We use Bhagavad Gita book. Book is material. So how can I say it is spiritual? Any action that is performed for the gratification of our sense organs is called as materialistic world or worldly action. Any action that we perform for the sake of that Parabrahma comes under the category spiritual action. That's all the difference is. So every action we must question ourselves. Am I doing it for my sense organ satisfaction or is it for him? We eat. Body needs food. Otherwise we cannot survive. But if at all we take food for the sake of the tongue, desire of the tongue that demands, are we slave to the sense organs? Then yes, our every action is worldly action, materialistic action. If not, every action I am thinking of him. That is why we say keep chanting Namasmarana. Because at least the mouth is chanting that and then that thought may come, oh Rama, Krishna, like this. So every action we may think of him. So Krishna is stressing on that. Buddhya, Vishuddhaya, Vishuddha Buddhi. Thought of that Parabrahma. Yuktaha. Yukta is totally integrated. Dhrityatmanam niyamyacha. Dhriti. So many times he has stressed on this dhriti, willpower. It is not sufficient if you do it for 1 hour in a day. 24 hours we are sadhakas. Whatever is assimilated here, we should be able to implement it here. Somebody shouts at me. I get agitated and I also blast. answer back in a very, very horrible way, then what happened? I thought I'm a very cool person. I don't get angry. I don't have temper. I have given certificate to myself. But what happened? So we must be able to have that kind of dhriti, willpower. No, I will not get angry. I will control. I may get angry, but I will control that. Then he says here, in the next shloka, he says, Vak, Kaya, Manasa. You have to control all these. So, Dhritya Atmanam, Atma is mind and sense organs here. Niyamyacha, controlling mind and sense organs. Then, Shabdadi Vishayam Styaktva. Shabda Adi. Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha. All these are objects for our sense organs. Tyaktva. Now you have to give, not that we should not listen. We should not eat, not that way. Not to focus on it. Not to focus on the external affairs. That means we must go inward. Don't go outward. Don't depend on the external factors. Try to go inward as much as possible. Then raga dvesho vyudasya cha. Vyudasya cha means abandoning. Raga dvesha you must leave. Most of the times whatever actions we perform, they are either with raga or with dvesha. This should be avoided. Anything that we do, we have a raga. And we run away from something because we don't like that. Either like or dislike. That should not be there. There is no like or dislike. This has come to me. This work, this action I have to perform because God has given me. Not because I like or I dislike. Anyway, whatever actions I perform, it will go to my Krishna. So why not I perform with so much of love for my Krishna? Not only that 1 hour puja in the puja room, throughout the day and night, this thought should be there. The attitude should be for Krishna, for Krishna. That then we leave that raga and dvesha. Otherwise raga, dvesha, they raise their head. Hood is raised like a snake. Me and mine. Others, no, I don't like them. I like this. I like these people. I don't like these people. I like this object. I don't like this object. I like this situation. I don't like this situation. Now you have to abandon all those. Next shloka, shloka number 52, it continues. Vivikta sevi laghvashi yatavakaya manasaka dhyana yoga paro nityam vairagyam samupashritaha. Continuation of that. Vivikta sevi. This also he has talked about in the 13th chapter, Kshetra Kshetrajna Vibhaga. One of the qualities that we have to develop. If we don't have, we have to develop. Vivikta sevi. Being alone. Not loneliness. Being alone. There are many people who cannot stay alone. Who cannot be alone even in the house for a few hours. In the night, no, I cannot stay alone. Then what do? Sometimes some situation arises where you have to stay alone. I switch on the TV. Some sound is there at least. Which means the person is not ready to face himself. Alone means we are facing ourselves. Old age. When we become very old, people may not be interested in talking to us because we don't hear properly. They have to shout on top of their voice. Even if they shout, we don't listen. We cannot hear properly. So what do? They stop telling us. They stop talking to us. Then what happens? I feel neglected. I feel ignored. Nobody is telling me anything. Be happy that they are not talking to you. I have all the time for myself. I can focus on my Krishna. So this is very important for us. Ramayana, we know the story of Dasharatha. At the time, even though he had 4 sons, not even one son was with him at the time of his exit from this world. We don't know. We may have to be alone. If we are not well, you are in the ICU. There are other patients over there, nurses there, but we don't have anybody whom we know. We will feel lonely there. So we have to practice this now itself, being alone. It is not loneliness, being alone. At least for a few minutes. How many other people are there at home? Keep yourself away from all of them. At least 5 minutes for our own selves. Very important. Not being alone is very, not used to it, then very difficult to go back to our original home. We have come alone. We will be going back alone. Nobody is going to accompany us. That time, we should go with a happy face. I am going back to my own house. If we go visit some other people and stay there for some number of days, maybe son's house, daughter's house, you stay for a few days. When we come back home, wow, home sweet home. We feel so happy. Don't we? In the same way, our original home. We are going back to the original home. How happy we should be. So at the time of exiting from the world, we should have a smiling face. We should be peaceful. So that can happen if we practice this Vivikta Sevi. Laghvashi. Laghvashi is taking light food, not heavy food. If we take heavy food, we become lazy and keep dozing off. Then, Yata Vakkaya Manasaha. Vak, Kaya, Manasa. That should be under our control. Manasu and the speech and actions. Control these. Then, Dhyana Yoga Paraha. Meditation. Meditation does not mean that you have to simply sit closing your eyes. Whole day you are working, that also can become meditation if we focus on Him. That can happen by chanting Namasmarana. Continuously keep chanting Namasmarana, then Smarana will happen. That becomes Dhyana Yoga. Dhyana Yoga Paro Nityam Vairagyam Samupashritaha. Vairagya. We should practice this. Slowly get detached from the world. At least as we grow older. Slowly detach. Try to detach from the world. Vanaprastha is the same. Getting ready for the next ashrama, sannyasa ashrama. Sannyasa is totally detachment. From grahastha we cannot jump to sannyasa ashrama. That is why in between Vanaprastha is there. Slowly try to withdraw ourselves, sense organs, mind, everything from the world and try to focus it on that Paramatma. So, Vairagyam Samupashritaha. This Vairagya is possible if you know the value of it. We don't mind struggling for something which we have very high value for it. Look at the students who are in 11th and 12th standard. They forgo everything. They don't watch movies, they don't watch TV, they don't read any other books except their academic books. Because they know the value of the next education, higher education, that the graduation or whatever it is, which college they want to get a seat, which particular course they wanted, how they struggle. Now, we also have to struggle here. It cannot come just like that as it happened to somebody, something fell from top. It will not happen. For Buddha, it happened under the particular tree, Bodhisattva tree, it happened. Realization happened. For us, it is not like one apple falling on our head. It will not happen like that. We have to struggle a lot for it. For that we need that dhriti. Willpower is needed. So Krishna is telling us all these slowly you have to start doing it. If you want moksha. Let us see the next shloka. Shloka number 53. Ahankaram balam darpam kamam krodham parigraham vimuchya nirmama shanto brahma bhuyaya kalpate. Now he says ahankara, bala, darpa, kama, krodha, parigraha. Vimuchya, leave all this. Ahankara, egoistic. Bala, all power I have got. Money power is there. Status power is there, position power is there. We say vitamin I, vitamin M, etc. Influence is there. Forget about all those. Darpa. Darpa is arrogance. Kama, desires. Krodha, anger. Parigraha, possessions. Hoarding. Hoarding things. For me, I need this, I need this. Vimuchya, nirmamaha. No mama at all. Mama is mine. Nothing is mine or everything is mine. Everybody is mine. Everything is mine. Then Shanta, tranquility of the mind, serenity of the mind, peace, being peaceful. Brahma bhuyaya kalpate. Then you are ready to become that Brahma himself. Para Brahma himself. All these qualities, if at all we have these qualities, we must get rid of these qualities. Ahankara, bala, darpa, kama, krodha, parigraha. Then nirmama. Then later we have to become Shanta. All these ahankara, bala, darpa, kama, krodha, parigraha we have to leave. Then become nirmama and become peaceful Shanta. Brahma bhuyaya kalpate. Then you are ready to become Brahma. Let us see what it says in the next shloka. Shloka number 54. Brahma bhuta prasannatma na shochati na kankshati samah sarveshu bhuteshu madbhaktim labhate param. Brahma bhutaha prasannatma. Oh, now you have become Brahma. That bhuta now has become Brahma, prasanna atma. Peaceful now. Mind is, here atma is mind. Mind is peaceful. Na shochati. Absolutely no dukkha at all. There is no sorrow at all. Then, na kankshati. There is no desire at all. Paripurna. We have become complete purna. It is like this when we fry puris. We fry puri in oil. You observe that when it becomes totally puffed up, then it stands still. Till then it keeps on dancing on the oil. Once it is totally puffed up puri, which is purna, sampurna, then what happens? It simply stands in the oil. Isn't it? Please observe all this while cooking. Same way, when we become paripurna, then prasanna. Mind is prasanna. There is no sorrow, there is no desire. We have desire because we have sorrow here. That is why I want this, I want that, etc. Now once you have become Brahma Bhuta, then Atma is peaceful, serene, then there is no sorrow and there is absolutely no desires at all. Samaha sarveshu bhuteshu. Such a person sees Parabrahma in everything. Vidya vinaya sampanne brahmane gavihastini shuni chaiva shvapake cha pandita samadarshinaha. He said it in Karma Sannyasa Yoga, 5th chapter. Everybody is equal. Everything is same as Parabrahma. How much you love that Parabrahma, the same love is there for every object here. Everybody is here. Samaha sarveshu bhuteshu madbhaktim labhate param. Parabhakti. So Krishna comes back to this bhakti. Talks about Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, and in between he is bringing up this bhakti. When we observe, without devotion, nothing can happen. Karma Yoga cannot happen. Jnana Yoga cannot happen without bhakti. Some people say that Jnanis do not have devotion. This is completely wrong. They may look like that because they don't do puja like how we do. So for us, how do we gauge people? How do we judge people? Like how I do puja, that person is not doing and he is simply sitting probably. So he doesn't have devotion. We gauge them like this. Here Krishna says, neither Karma Yoga nor Jnana Yoga possible without devotion. Devotion is like mother. Knowledge is like a child. When we have devotion, only knowledge can dawn. not otherwise. Karma Yoga, we say Samarpana Bhava. Do all action, perform every action as an offering to Him. What is that offering? If you don't have devotion, how can we offer? So obviously, devotion is there, whether it is Karma Yoga or Jnana Yoga. In between we have that Upasana Yoga, which is worshipping with the devotion. So devotion is common factor for all this. So he says, such a person attains Madbhaktim Labhate Param. Parabhakti. Highest level of bhakti such a person attains. Now, how to check whether we are moving forward or not in the path of spirituality? There is one test. We have been talking about it. FIR. FIR test. Frequency, intensity and recovery. Frequency of these sorrows. How often do we get either depressed or sad or angry, all these? How often, how frequently? Is it very frequent in a day? Count this. Keep a record. Today, 5 times I have felt bad, I have got angry, etc. This kind of negative emotions. Keep a track of it. Then, how intense was it? Did I feel very bad? Did I feel very sad? Was I very angry? How intense? Then recovery time. Okay, I was very angry, but within no time, I was back. I was again back to my own self. So this frequency should reduce, intensity of that should reduce, and recovery time also should reduce. This FIR is lessening, becoming less and less, decreasing. Then we are moving forward in the path of spirituality. So this is the test for all of us. Every day we must test. Am I getting sad and bad frequently? How intense, what is the intensity of that situation? And how fast could I recover? Let us all keep doing all this because Krishna is telling us to do this. So why not we try doing this? Next shloka, shloka number 55. Bhaktya mam abhijanati yavanyashchasmi tattvataha tato mam tattvato jnatva vishate tadanantaram. Again he is stressing on Bhaktya mam abhijanati. A person can know me. Mam abhijanati. Janati is knowing. Abhijanati, intensely, deeply. He can know me only through devotion. So Krishna is giving a lot of importance to that devotion. We must understand devotion is 100% needed. Then, Yavanyashchasmi tattvataha. There are 2 ways of knowing Krishna. One is Saguna, another is Nirguna. Saguna tattva, Nirguna tattva. That is what he says. Abhijanati. Wherever you come across the word, this abhi. That means deeply, intensely knowing. Janati is knowing. Abhijanati is intensely knowing. Means both ways, Saguna, Nirguna, both are known. Which means I can worship any idol, any photograph as Saguna. This is a relative world, relative concept. You are different from me. I am your devotee. You are my God. This is a relative field. Whereas in the Nirguna field, when you come to this particular concept of Nirguna, you and me are one. There is no difference at all. Aham Brahmasmi. This is Nirguna Tattva. Saguna Tattva is, you are my Lord. I am your slave. I am your devotee. You are more powerful than me. In the Nirguna Tattva, I and you are same. This is Nirguna Tattva. So Bhaktya, how can you know? Only by devotion. Bhaktya mam abhijanati yavanyashchasmi tattvataha tato mam tattvato jnatva vishate tadanantaram. That is why know me properly through the concepts. Don't simply keep on doing puja and say that, oh, I'm very good, I'm very religious. Just by singing bhajans, we do not reach him. Singing bhajans is definitely good, devotion is definitely good, but what he says, understand the concept of it. Try to understand me, both saguna as well as nirguna concept of me. Mrityorma amritam gamaya. Mrityu is there for the saguna tattva. Krishna appeared in this world. He has to go back. He had to go back. Rama appeared. Rama avatara, incarnation happened here, but he had to go back. Because it was saguna tattva. As nirguna tattva, it is amrita. So from mrityu, we must go to that amrita. We must reach that. We must understand that tattva. Once we understand that tattva, the concept of this nirguna parabrahma, then if I want, I can do the puja of Krishna's idol also. Just because we reach that position, that doesn't mean that we should not worship any god. Oh, I am a jnani now, I should not do all this. No, nothing of that sort. We can do arati, we can do abhisheka, everything can be done. It depends on that person. See, some of these Swamijis or sages, we can call them saints. Some of them remained in Himalayas. They did not interact with the world. They prayed for us from there itself. Whereas some other, say Shirdi Sai Baba, Puttaparthi Sai Baba, they interacted with the world. So it is different. We can never judge that, oh, this person is interacting with the world, so he is not a jnani. Or this person is not at all interacting, that means he is a jnani. We can never judge, or we should not judge. So Krishna says, Tattvataha, know me by that concept. Both as Saguna concept, Nirguna concept, both are good. This we have seen in the 12th chapter. Then, once you know this concept, Vishate Tad Anantaram. After that, that person enters me. Enters me means not that physically entering, they becomes one. They both become one. Parabrahma and Jivatma and Paramatma, they both become one. Like how you say river reaches the ocean, river merges in the ocean. Once it merges in the ocean, can you say that this is Krishna river, this is Saraswati? We can never differentiate like that. That is what is happening. He says, once you tatoma, like that, tattvato jnatva, know me by tattva, by the concept. What is Saguna concept? What is Nirguna concept? Know me by this concepts. Then Vishate tad anantaram. Vishate, entrance, pravesha, entering him or become one. There is no difference at all then between this Jivatma and Paramatma. That union takes place. Up to this, from 50 to 55, in these 6 shlokas, Krishna talked about Jnana Yoga, Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana. Shravana is not only listening, study of the scriptures in a systematic way. That is Shravana. Manana is contemplating, and any doubts arise, remove. We must be clear, we must clarify that. The doubts must be cleared, and then assimilate, and then implement. It should become a part of every cell, should be dwelling on that. It is not only mind, every cell of the body should be there in that concept. The next shlokas again, I think from 56 to 62 or so, once again it comes back to Karma Yoga. Look at the beauty of this. We play this snake and ladder. All of us play snake and ladder, especially with the children we have played. As children we have played, with our children also we have played. Many of us might have played with our grandchildren also. We go up, again come down. Again we go to that 98th position also, number also. But there is a big snake. Again we come down. But how much we enjoy that. Going up and down we enjoy. Finally we reach that. Isn't it? In the same way, Krishna is now again coming back to Karma Yoga. Just now he talked about Jnana Yoga. Before that he talked about Karma Yoga. Again he is coming back to Karma Yoga. Probably Krishna was observing Arjuna's face, and Arjuna must have thought about this Jnana Yoga. Ammo, so difficult. Don't we also feel, oh, it's so difficult. Do you think it is possible for us? It may be possible for some people, but I am not that good. I don't know any of this. I know only some singing bhajans and some namasmarana I know, but this tattva pitva and all I don't know. That fear was visible on Arjuna's face to Krishna. So Krishna thought, oh, no, this is not doing good to him. Let me come back to Karma Yoga and let me explain again Karma Yoga and let me see how his expression is. Probably I am saying. Shloka number 56. Sarva karmanyaphi sada kurvano madvyapashrayaka matprasadadavapnoti shashvatam padamavyayam. I don't know how many times Krishna has been telling about this. Sarva karmani apisada kurvano madvyapashrayaha. Whatever karma, whatever actions you are doing, do it for my sake and being dependent on me only. Ashraya for you is only me, Arjuna. You are thinking that your possessions, your position, your people, all these will give you security. You are dependent on so many people for your happiness. But remember that only I am the one on whom you should be dependent on. Not anything else, not anybody else. Sarva karmanyaphi sada kurvano. While performing the action, we must think that it is only for Krishna, because only he can give me this security. Only he can give me happiness. Nobody else can give me. Only my Krishna can give. Then, mat prasadat avapnoti. When this happens, when you perform every action with this kind of attitude, mat prasadat, by my prasada, by my blessing, by my anugraha, you are getting shashvata padam avyayam. The position, once you reach this position, there is no change at all. Avyaya pada. Vyaya means there is always change. Avyaya, there is no change at all, because you are going to reach me. How? By my anugraha. You perform every action for me, being dependent on me. With this kind of attitude you perform, and then by my blessing, my compassion, my anugraha, you are going to reach that level, that pada, that position which is avyaya, changeless. What a beautiful incentive Krishna is giving. Advertising so much for Karma Yoga and Jnana Yoga also, but he is advertising so beautifully. If you do this, you are getting this. So we must be able to at least understand a little bit of this and try to implement. Because when we are not well, we go to the hospital. We go to the doctor, a specialist. He diagnoses and gives the prescription. This medicine, morning, night, after food, before food, etc., etc. He gives the prescription. Don't we follow this? When we are sick, definitely we follow that. Whatever he says, we follow that, because we don't want to suffer, struggle. In the same way, this Krishna is Bhavaroga Vaidya. This not an ordinary disease that we have got. Bhavaroga. We have come to this world with this wonderful body Krishna has given to us. But are we utilizing it properly? Krishna is saying, I am going to give you this avyaya pada. Why not we try? We follow doctor's prescription just to get rid of some small disease. The Bhavaroga we all should get rid of. So let us listen to that prescription of our Paramatma, Sri Krishna Paramatma, who is giving us wonderful prescriptions, let us try to follow the prescriptions. Next shloka. Once again the same Karma Yoga. Chetasa sarva karmani mai sanyasya matparaha buddhi yoga mupashritya macchitta satatam bhava. Chetasa sarva karmani. Here Chetasa sarva karmani mai sanyasya matparaha. Once again, Chetasa is with that attitude. Chetasa is attitude here. Sarva karmani mai sanyasya. Sanyasya here is dedication. Every action, dedicate it to me. Then, matparaha. Remember that I am the goal. Any action you perform, Arjuna, however silly the action is, goal is Krishna. This he is stressing matparaha because we may forget. Being in this world, action is performed, we may become karmi. Karmi is one in the world who thinks of all the benefit of this worldly affair. What am I going to get by doing this action? Performing this action, I must get something. This kind of worldly desires, if at all we have, karma phala can have two ways. It can have impact on our spiritual life or material life, or both also. If at all we are spiritual, then this is only secondary. Worldly result is only secondary, or worldly karma phala, not the result of that action, is a byproduct. Aim is antaranga shuddhi. Internally, spiritually, I should become better and better. This should be the goal, which means Parabrahma is my goal. Otherwise, I may become materialistic. By this action, I should be rewarded here from this company, or these people should give me something because I have done this. So Krishna is stressing on this. Dedicate every action to me. Remember that goal is me only, nothing else. Buddhi yoga mupashritya. Here Buddhi yoga is niswartha seva. Karma yoga niswartha. That is sattva guna dominating, then rajo guna, then tamo guna should be dominating. Buddhi yoga mupashritya macchitta satatam bhava. Become one with me, or your mind should always be there in me only. Mat chittaha. Your chitta, your mind should be there only on me. So many situations we are helpless. Do we have choice? I don't want to become old at all. Do we have a choice? We don't have a choice. So many things are choiceless in this world for us. This choiceless is his choice. So why don't we bow down to his choice? Any situation arises in our life, we should not become sorrowful, we should not become sad, because this is a blessing by Krishna to me. Krishna is teaching me some lesson in this. Every experience, whether we may say that it is good or bad, every experience we must learn something from it. So Krishna says, Chetasa sarva karmani mai sanyasya matparaha buddhyoga mupashritya macchittaha satatam bhava. Always, continuously your mind should be there on me. Macchittaha. Your chitta should be there in me. Let us see the next shloka, shloka number 58. Macchitta sarva durgani mat prasadat tarishyasi atha chetvam ahankaran na shrosyasi vinangshasi. Again, macchittaha. Keeping your mind on me. Sarva durgani. Here durgani. Durga is hurdle. So many hurdles, so many difficulties that we have to face. He says, if at all you keep your mind on me, then because of mat prasadat tarishyasi, whatever hurdles, whatever trouble, whatever difficulties that you face, You will easily cross over it because of my prasada. Mat prasada dharishyasi. Because of my blessings, you will cross over all those. So many hurdles, so many difficulties we face. He says, keep your mind on me. Whether it is sukha or dukkha, your mind should be there on me only. Then, because of my blessing, your every problem will be solved. I will solve. Then he says, Atha chetvam ahankaran na shroshyasi vinangshyasi. But, Arjuna, I am giving you all these incentives. I am advertising for all this. But, because of ahankara, na shroshyasi, not listening to these words, then what happens? Vinangshyasi, you will perish. You will destroy your life. Destruction of spirituality in your life. It is like we tell our kids, do this, do that, so many things we tell. Do they do all these things? Okay, they assume that my daughter has not done something which I have told her. Then what do? What do I do there? I go and tell her again and again. See, this is what is going to happen. Okay, please do this. No, if she doesn't listen further, then what we say? If you don't do this, what happens? Okay, what I am telling, you are not listening. Do whatever you want. Get lost. But later don't come to me. Don't we say this? We threaten them. We feel that they are not able to understand. They don't have that kind of maturity. I have better maturity than my daughter or son. That's what we feel. And we say that, no, do this. Samadana Beda. At the end only Danda comes. First you tell them nicely. Then you say, incentive. By doing this, what are you going to get? That you explain. Children are not listening. Then what do you say? When you don't do this, what happens? That is called Beda. If you don't do this, what happens? We threaten them. In the same way, Krishna is now telling Arjuna, Arjuna, all these I have explained now. So many times I have explained to you. With so many examples I have explained to you. But because of ahankara, I will do what I want to do. Many times we also do like this. Somebody advises us and I will do what I want to do. It may be good for that person. This is because of ahankara, not because of knowledge. We have studied Bhagavad Gita. We may have better knowledge than somebody else also. We can take our decision. Not that we should not take our decision. But because of ahankara. No knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. I am only great. I only know everything. I will do as I want. Arjuna, if you do like this, na shroshyasi, you are not listening to me, then what will happen? Vinangshyasi. It will be your pitfall. You will perish, Arjuna. So better you listen to me. He does not say that. He says, what happens if you don't listen? He has been telling what happens if you listen. You do this, I am giving you that Paramapada, etc. But still because of that ego, I, me and mine, because of this, if you don't listen, you are destroying your own self. So this should be underlined for all of us. It's not for Arjuna, it is for us. If we don't listen, means not only listening. Listening, yes, we listen many Bhagavad Gita discourses. But if you don't assimilate that, implement in our lives and try to have that antaranga improvement. Internally, we should be able to grow every single day. Why single day? Every minute fraction of a second, we should be able to improve ourselves. External factor, external setup, we may not be able to change. But internally, it is in our own hands. We should strive for it. Not easy. Not easy. We have struggled even to pass inter. We have struggled. Why not this? Why should you say that, oh, it is so difficult, this is not for me. I will not do this. Not that way. Whatever I do is for Krishna. I may not have a puja room, I may not have a photograph, I may not have idol, no problem. Whatever action I perform is His worship. When we have this kind of attitude, our actions also become better and better. Because to the person whom we love the most, we want to give the best. To our children, we want to give the best because we love them the most. Now, we love Krishna the most. So whatever we offer to Him should be the best, in the best way that we can do it. Not that we are experts. Whatever we do, let us do it in the best way that is known to us. And that becomes His worship. Otherwise, what happens is, assume that I feel that for the work I am doing, people are not recognizing me, or my salary is slightly less. For the work that I am doing, what I am getting is slightly less, I may feel. Then what do? This is enough for the way they are recognizing me. This type of work is enough. People who get little less salary, they feel so. For the amount that money that they are giving, this much is sufficient. Don't we say that? This much is sufficient. This is what they are going to do. I know that this is sufficient. For them, we are not doing. We are doing every action for Krishna. So every action should be dedicated to Him. Every action should be done effectively with full efforts, however small it is. It may be just folding something or closing the lid of a bottle. Closing the lid of the bottle. Krishna is the bottle, Krishna is the lid. I am doing this for Krishna. So how beautifully it should be done. So when we bring this kind of thoughts, this kind of attitude, every action is performed so beautifully. Not worried about the result. Karma phala, we are not worried at all now. Just the way I do my karma, it should be the best. It will be effective when we do with this kind of attitude. That is what Krishna is prescribing here. This is the prescription given for us. So why not we try? Every action, let us do it in the beautiful way, thinking of Krishna and not attached to the result of that action. So let us transform ourselves into karma yogis from karmis. And just now he has stressed bhakti. Bhakti is needed. Without that, nothing can happen. Devotion is there definitely in all of us. So Krishna has assured that bhaktya mam abhijanati. Through devotion only you can know me, both as saguna and nirguna. So let us try our level best by chanting namasmarana and doing all actions with the attitude of samarpana bhava. And whatever we get, His prasada. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. 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 Om Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. लोका समस्ता सुखिनो भवन्तु लोका समस्ता सुखिनो भवन्तु लोका समस्ता सुखिनो भवन्तु।